Greetings, mechanics, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic. I have a cup of tea. I have an awesome little house that we built in the last episode. Well, I say a house. It's not really a house as much as it is a storeroom sans roof, but it has some awesome funky sliding doors. And off camera, I have begun a little bit of a project. I've even put a radio out here so that we can work by it. Though at the moment there is some nice background music playing, so I'm not going to turn it on. There we go. Now, we had an episode that was, well, as serious as my episodes get, I suppose. So, in this episode, I think we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to build a new vehicle, and it's not really going to be the most, how shall we put it, the most conventional of modes of transport. I've got an idea. So, let's go ahead and start popping this together. Now, I'll discuss the idea briefly. In fact, actually, I'll get rid of these. I'll discuss the idea briefly before I start to get this built either off camera or a bit of a time lapse. I want to make a walker. Now, I could make a serious walker. That is definitely an option. And in a way, this is a precursor to that. It's kind of teaching me what I need to think about, the sorts of things I'm going to need to do to make a walker walk. But, you see, I noticed that we've got a couple of props, and I wanted to make a walker, and we've got boots. We've got mannequin boots. I'm going to make a walker that actually walks on boots. I think it's a grand idea myself. Now, this is going to be kind of a fairly slapdash, very easy walker to build, or at least that's what it's going to be like in my mind. But on that note, we've even got a passenger seat. I am going to get to building this, and I will bring you back when we have something to discuss. A little bit of music first, though. Okay, as you can see, we have the beginnings of our walker, or perhaps crawler. I'm really not sure whether something with this many legs is said to walk or crawl. I mean, insects are said to crawl, but I mean, they've got loads of legs. Question for the ages, that one. But it is time for us to wire it up. Now, the wiring is going to be fairly simple, but I wanted to do it on camera just so that if anyone is curious, and they'll see exactly what I'm doing. I must have these symmetrically. There we go. They're both pointing in a sense. Right. So, as you'll note, there are 4 bearings, and we want to have one controller for each limb. Now, there is a reason for that, and I also want to make sure that they're all kind of clockwork is the same color on all of them. So we'll have blue as clockwork, and we want the limbs very specifically hooked up in this order. We want the point where the limb is connected to the vehicle, and then the walker section specifically, and blue is clockwise on that side as well. That's fantastic. Right, it's very simple. We want the first and third to be negative 180 degrees, and the second and fourth positive 180 degrees, and we want it on cyclic. We also want it fairly slow to start with, just so that we can work out whether this is working or not. Now, as I said, there is a specific reason why I'm doing it like this, and we will get to that in just a moment. But I just want to make sure that this actually works at all, and that is, gives me forward and reverse motion. If we can do that, then we can get to the more complicated matter of actually giving us some sort of steering. All right, let's get rid of you. Ah, perfect. Now then, in my various experiments in the test build, wow, adding lots of these. I mean, the whole thing with luggage, I really want to make a chest with hundreds and hundreds of legs. That's not going to happen. I think the limit is about 20 of these things. Once you hit 20, maybe 25, that's it. All of that suspension, it tanks your FPS from all of the calculations it's doing. But let's see. Can we go? Oh no, we're going backwards. Ah, drat. I must have needed this going the other way. Okay, clockwise needs to be reversed. Sorry everyone, clockwise must be turned around. There we go, fine. Rather, blue needs to be turned around. Go! There we are! Perfect. Ah, this is glorious, if somewhat slow. We can adjust that. Let's see how it can hold up to some greater speeds. Let's pop that more or less middle of the road on speed. Both sides. No, don't do anything until I'm ready. Yes? Oh, that's peculiar. Why is it doing that then? Oh well. Right, let's go! Okay, that's actually not too bad. That's right, go back to your resting position. We're going to tank the speed all the way up to fast. And see how this goes. Ah! Okay. Calm down! Calm down! It's okay! Oh, he was having a panic attack. My lord. Alright, let's get back up here. Ah! I need to build the stairs. I really need to build the stairs. There's like an obstacle course just getting on this bloody thing. Right, there we go. Dunk. Perfect. Don't worry, we will actually have something at the back there. I'm thinking like a trailer. Okay, let's go. It's not quite as good as I was thinking, honestly. Oh well. You seem to be having fun. Wow, look at that ragdoll. This is a ride that will give you whiplash. Ah! I want you to go backwards. That's right. No, that's not what I wanted you to do. No. Yes, kind of. Maybe. We need some more weight on the back. Okay. Wow. Okay, we ejected off that thing. Alright, well, now here comes the interesting wiring stuff. To make this turn properly. Oh, damn it. What I'm thinking of doing is having it so that we're controlling each limb independently with two buttons or switches. We can either have two buttons, which means I need to hold down two buttons in order to move forward, or I can have two switches, which means I need to toggle each leg into motion. We'll go with buttons for now, I think. And the way we can do this is quite simple. We have a button there, a button here, and instead of having the control wired up to the driving seat, we have the buttons wired up to it. 1 and 2. These will now appear in our HUD when we're driving the vehicle. And there we go. Oh, actually, what have I just done? That was remarkably stupid. No, I want the buttons hooked up. There we go. Now, we should find that this works. Hopefully. If it does, I'm going to be somewhat impressed with myself. Okay, so if we use 1, there we go. If we use 2, there we go. If we use both, forward. Take our finger off 1. We should be turning now to the left. A little bit of a rough ride there, but... Now the only problem with this, no reverse. And that is a bit of an issue. Ah! No! Bad. I need to sort that out. But, proof of concept. It works. And if it works, then we can tweak it until it works well. Let's pop you over here. There we go. Now, an ideal solution would be to have these hooked up to two controllers, but that's completely outside of my ability to do just yet. That is the bearings themselves, so I'd have a reverse gear and a forward gear, and then depending on which button I was using, which gear it would be in. But this is workable for now. I do want to pull down the speed, though, because that's a little bit over the top. Let's pop it into the middle gear on both, shall we? Yes, I think we should. Now, we could have some extra people on board. I don't think we will, though. Multiplayer is out, and the game is released. I could invite friends. Do I have any friends? I really don't know. Let's see. We'll pop one gigantic tank back here to give us some real weight. That is a rather large tank, actually. The other idea I was having was to have a trailer. And I really do like the idea of a trailer. So let's actually hook up a wee bit of a trailer. There we go. So we want something like this right about there. And this should be easy. Now, the nice thing is that the bearings do act as you would expect bearings to act, in that if they're not hooked up to anything, then they're basically free. And they can rotate freely. Actually, that tank really needs to go, because I want this further up. Let's bring you down. I want something a little bit like this. There you go. I wish there were a rotate the other direction key. Is there? No, there is not. There is Q, and there's only really one direction you can rotate any object, and that is sometimes a bit of a pain. Let's rotate that around. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Now we just need a bearing. On one side, unfortunately, there's not much we can do about that. I do wish this would respect if there are two bearings attached between two objects, and both the bearings are attached in a sense, but it really doesn't seem to work that way. I have just thought of something that is going to be a bit of a problem. We need to redesign this. I need to be able to rotate in two directions. Along two axes, that is to say. So we want a bearing down here first that is free. Because if I'm going to make this thing able to turn corners, I need the trailer to be able to turn with it. Okay, here we go. I have built a little wagon section on here, though it's not particularly well built, I'll be honest with you. I like the look of it, though. I've put on some props and made it look a little bit funky. We have got the the gears over here. There's a pivot point there so it can turn for us, and there so that it can lower down. In fact, the best way to show that is to take that away. That was a little bit heavier than I was expecting. Okay, I'm going to have to bear that in mind. So that is now way heavier than the rest. Though that actually isn't too bad of a situation to be in, because now we've got a ramp. Aha! Yes, much easier to get up here now. Right, let's take this for a little bit of a ride and see how it goes. So 1 and 2 to move forward. There we go. Take my finger off 2 to turn in this direction. Is that going to be able to turn with us? Kind of. We'll have to see. Ooh, I see. Yeah, that isn't going to work so well. I'm going to need to address that. The legs are getting caught on the wagon here. Right, okay. Well, that should be easy enough to fix, I suppose. I tried to extend the wagon as well, specifically because I felt it looked a little bit shy, a little bit empty towards this side, but it seems that is actually getting in the way of the legs, and they're a little bit more important to me than having a pretty wagon. I'm going to try and tell myself to convince myself that it's true. It's not actually. This is going to hurt a little bit. Right, okay, there we go. So we want to have this section. We can build this out a little bit, and I'll do this on camera. We'll pop that there. We will grab ourselves. Where are you? Grab ourselves this. It should all be very, very simple to put together like so. Okay, there we are. We'll go ahead and fill this in. So this will be a little bit of a less stable area for us to embark and disembark, but it's fine. I think we'll be able to survive, I'm sure. We can tilt that around there, and then we can cover up the suspension down there. Okay, that's pretty cool. We'll have another one in there as well, just for good measure, I think. Right, there we go. So, hopefully, this will be okay. In fact, we were building that. Oh, no, we weren't. I was going to say we were building that while it was just sat there. Ah! That is not what I meant to happen. We might need to scrap the whole cart idea. No, it seems to work there. Okay, well, I see. I see. It's just the angle. Perhaps we need a little bit more weight over here. Though now we've got a cargo area back here. We could probably stack some boxes, do other sort of things. I'm not going to add weight there just yet. But that does mean that we've got more room for passengers. Oh, I like it. We're creating kind of like a walker or crawler bus. Oh, I'm a huge fan of this idea. Though, that said, it's going to be hard. Ah, no. I need more room. Ah, that's not what I planned for. Damn and blast. Maybe... No, I can't. Well, I think I would like to have some more people on this vehicle with me. You know, more friends, never a bad thing. But we'll have to do that at some later stage. So let's just get out there, see how we can go. There we go, not too bad. I've also increased the speed just a tad. Now, the way I'm thinking of this, very silly build. I mean, realistically, if I'm going to make a walker, I'll probably do it in a very different way. This one, is that leg going to be a problem? It kind of is still a bit of an issue, but I think I was going to say I think we're okay. I actually take it back. I think our whole cargo wagon thing may have to go away, because that is going to be a problem. Or you just don't take such aggressive turns. Nevertheless, it gets around, and I like to think that this will have a lot of carrying capacity. This would be something that we might put together in the survival mode for going out scavenging to very safe locations, where we've already killed all of the protecting robots, and we can just go down there and grab a whole lot of gear that we've stored up there. I think that's pretty cool. Though I do kind of prefer to have the walker legs working in unison. It's a much smoother ride this way. But there we are. If we want to build a real walker, like an insect walker, I've got a couple of ideas. And you'll notice the little hinge back here is kind of along those lines. You'd have a pivot point underneath. Now, if you just cast your mind's eye where I'm about to describe, you have a pivot point underneath some sort of body section that can pivot left and right. And that comes out and then has a pivot point much like this, up and down. And then from this one, you have another limb coming up, another pivot point up and down. And you basically create insect-like legs. And you have three of them on each side, or maybe even four if you're going for an arachnid walker. And then you're probably going to need quite a lot of wizardry going on with these. It's probably a system too complex for the way that we're turning right now. Forward and back would be easy enough. You just need probably 4 controls in total to get the legs working the way you'd want them to. But if you want to be able to turn, that's going to require some complex controller work. So I'm thinking you would probably want some sort of system of buttons that use sensors. So you press this button, it drops a block in front of a sensor which activates a specific controller which does certain things with some legs. I think we need to probably wait on some more complexity and abilities to the controller system before we really try to do something like that. But there is a part of me that's wondering if maybe I should just stream this over the weekend and we see if we can make an insect walker. I'm thinking I would really like to, but I'm also thinking I might be stupid. I know I'm stupid, but I would like to make a walker. So, probably going to keep this vehicle, actually. We'll make a little spot for it in the garage, which I'm probably going to build in the next episode. This will be our cargo walker from now on. Even though we don't really have any cargo to go and fetch, I like to build for the future. And, survival is on its way. One day it's going to be here. And then we're going to be able to go out and gather up all of our goods from wherever we have fought to clear the area of robots. And we're going to need something like this. Maybe if we have an insect walker, we'll even be able to just go flat up hills. But I think the last thing we're going to try and do in this episode is the obvious one. The obviously stupid one. I did tell you I was stupid, so you really shouldn't be too surprised. We're going to try and go down this hill the way that we're not meant to and see if we possibly break and or kill ourselves. That's right, come on. That's right. It's a slow, arduous process with this orca, but, we'll get there eventually. Now, we still don't have a way backwards, so if this walks itself into a corner, it's It's not coming back out of it, which is a bit of a pain. That is probably the next thing that we really want to add, is some sort of reverse functionality. Maybe... no, I was going to say maybe we could add some wheels that could do it. And on second thoughts, no, I don't want to cheat. This is a walker. It's meant to get there by walking, not by rolling. The wheels on the back are purely there to well, namely weigh the rear end down, but also to carry stuff. Possibly people, possibly other stuff. You know what? This thing has navigated those rocks better than I was expecting. Really? Really? Are you going to go down like this? No. Ah! Ow. Well, it navigated that bit pretty much as I was expecting, I'll be honest with you. Still, I enjoyed building this. I actually really had a lot of fun. Let's grab you. I'm going to have to bring you over here onto the launch pad. I will walk you back up there off camera. I'm not going to subject anyone to that. But our hovercraft is over there. I've got some more ideas for the hovercraft as well. I wonder, the moment I get close enough, will that activate? Or is that basically just stuck there for the time being? Because I'm okay with that. Because otherwise it would just like fly off into Great Blue Yonder. There we go. Take that away. Okay, we're starting to get a couple of things here. Oh my lord, my frame rate is tanking with all of this stuff out and about. Yeah. This game is not especially well optimized, as you may already know. I have no idea where my other car is. I'm probably going to have to go and get that at some point. But that is going to be it for me for now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I actually really had a lot of fun building this, and it's given me a lot of ideas of things that I can do in the future. But I'm probably going to have to keep the complexity of my builds down a little bit, or at least not move near any of my other vehicles, because, oh wow, this FPS lag. And my computer's actually not a bad computer. I know everyone says that, but my computer really isn't. So, not the best optimized game in the universe, but then it is very much early access, and the fact they've even got multiplayer in already is just mind-boggling, considering how complex this game already is. So on that note, we're going to be wrapping things up. Do let me know if you enjoyed by posting a comment on the video down below, or leaving a like on the video to let me know you want to see more of this in the future. But until then, do take care.